Hi, welcome to an episode of Toy Trains and Arduinos. Today we're going to look at an example of using current detection on your Lionel or toy train layout. Remember, this is AC current. The trains used are both digitally equipped and non-digitally equipped trains. Current sensing exploits track blocks that are individually powered, and it detects trains by detecting the current that block is drawing. I've done previous videos on this. Check that out, particularly the one on considerations when measuring current on AC layouts. Okay, here we are. So this is an Android tablet. I wrote an application specifically for my layout. The addition I'm going to talk about today is this little graphic here, which represents the layout. I did not modify my layout for the purpose of current sensing, which I had not planned on doing. I just wired in current sensors into existing track blocks. So it turns out I have, for each of these two dog bones, I have two blocks. And you can see that because if I turn on a train, this red area here is representing the current draw from a digital train sitting on the track. And it starts out red because I have a capacitor inside the train instead of a battery. So there's an extra current draw when I first turn it on. And then the current draw drops into the blue range. Now I've set two thresholds, one for a train standing and one for a train running. If I increase the current in the standing train, we can get to what running looks like. So running looks like that. It turns red. And of course, there's a normal standing position. In order to have thresholds, you're going to have that trade-off. But if we run the train, we see immediately things turn red. As the train goes around the track, the area of red will change. Now that went from blue to gray because of the lighted passenger cars. That went red, that is red because the train is on that track and drawing current. The same thing, the reverse happens when it transitions to the other track block. Of course, we can run two trains. The layout's going to call for my Commodore Vanderbilt to make a station stop, which you'll see here coming up. So now we're standing. Attention travelers, the Commodore Vanderbilt has arrived at the station. The Commodore Vanderbilt is available for boarding. So that's happened because the train triggered an RFID by pulling into the station. The Commodore Vanderbilt is available for boarding for the South Street Station in Chicago and will be departing shortly. The Commodore Vanderbilt is available for boarding. Okay, well, we have two trains active. If you look carefully at the diagram, you'll see that inner red line and hear the horn. That's the Illinois Central F3 coming our way and will appear in the picture soon. So with this, I can keep track of my two trains. I know the Commodore is parked because of the blue, and the Illinois Central line is coming around that dog bone. You'll see when the Illinois Central comes through here, there's some reed switches. And that triggers the horn, but also updates the speed at which the train is going. I turn the Commodore off, and we'll come and we'll park the Illinois Central. And there we are, in idle, and then off. All right, well, so that's one of the things you can do with current sensors. Obviously, I do have some smarts now because that's operating on my Arduino. This is all handled by an Arduino Mega. I got this this CZH Labs case, if you will, that exposes all the connectors and tucks away the Mega inside a nice little handy case. There's and exposes even the reset button. So that's what that looks like, and that's pretty handy. So I'm just powering the Mega with a USB, a little USB hub down there. The current sensor used is an ACS712 module. It's used for each of the 4 blocks. So there's 4 of these, and those are mounted under the layout. The object that's orange and glowing above the circuitry there, that's a plastic jar lid, and I've mounted the sensors in that, and the wires come out either end. As I mentioned, I hadn't intended to use current sensing on my layout for this purpose. And in the process of doing a video on current sensing in general, how it works, what type of sensors, I thought, well, it is pretty easy to add it to an existing layout with train blocks. So I went ahead and did that to my layout and saw that it was pretty easy to install. So that's the good thing. Sort of the bad news, one of the challenges that I recognized in the earlier videos was setting thresholds. And that is tricky. And in fact, I may have to go back and set different thresholds for different trains. Now, fortunately, in my layout, my software knows which train is running, so I can do that. The other thing I discovered in the process of doing this is that it's fun. It's fun to play with current and to see how much your trains draw. Beyond that, there's not a lot more that I get out of it for my layout. I hope you enjoyed this layout. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe.